Hey, hello, my fellow property managers. Mark Cunningham at Grace Management. So, what's your crystal ball prediction for your market for what rental rates are going to do in 2024? Now, I understand every market is very unique and very different, but overall, we are certainly seeing a trend nationally on rents flattening and in many, many areas declining. Now, I'm in Colorado, so I'm speaking specific to my area, but I'm also talking about the national market overall. So we've just informed our owner clients in our year-end owner letter, which, by the way, if you didn't watch the last video, go back and watch that. We tell you how to put together a year-end owner letter for your owner clients. We informed them to expect rents to flatten and maybe even decline in 2024. And this is kind of the story we told them. By the way, I'll put a link in this video to the longer form video that we sent out to our owner clients on this same topic to them, where I'm communicating to our owners, telling them why we expect this to happen potentially to their property and why it's so important to communicate this to your owner clients to set expectations. And part of what we said is it is a story of supply and demand. That's what all this is about. Rents go up or down based upon the supply of rental properties and the demand for those rental properties. And here's what we're seeing in our market, and I bet you're seeing this in a lot of your markets as well. Number one, rental supply is increasing. It's increasing for a variety of reasons. But just a couple nuanced factors. We have a lot of short-term rental conversions. People that bought VRBOs during COVID, the numbers aren't making sense anymore. There's not the demand for the short-term furnished VRBO rentals anymore. So a lot of those folks that own them are saying, can't make this work. I'll pull it off the VRBO market and I'll long-term rental it. New supply coming on. There's also a tremendous new pool of properties, homeowners that bought the property to live in. They weren't planning on renting it out, but a life circumstance happened. They're moving out of the property and they've got a crazy low interest rate and they think, I can't give up this interest rate. I'm going to convert it to a rental. More supply. We also have a tremendous amount of new multifamily supply coming online in many, many, many markets. And you say, well, Mark, multifamily doesn't compete with my single family. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but it's becoming more competitive because they're offering move-in incentives, they're attracting folks, and the new stuff that's going up is very high-end to attract people that may have previously been looking for a single family. So we're seeing a movement of supply out of people that, or movement of demand, people that may have been interested in renting a single family. Now they're like, gosh, in this multifamily, I can still get 2,000 square feet. I can get 2 reserved parking spaces in the underground garage, and it's got a dog park and a weight room and a pool and a gym. Maybe I'll just move here instead. This was a recent headline article in the Wall Street Journal. It says luxury apartment glut in South Florida offers some relief to tenants. So Mark, that's South Florida. It gave a stat, I know you can't see this. It gave a stat though of all these different metros, the new supply of multifamily coming on board as compared to the current supply. Go look up this article, find it. I'll see if I can put a link to it. It probably lists your area. Denver down here is like a 15% increase in our supply. That's tremendous, 15% supply. So at the same time we have all this new supply coming on board, we also have renter demand, which is decreasing. Now that's happening for a variety of reasons. Inflation's very, very real. It's impacting many current tenants. They just don't have the money to spend on upgrading their rental property. They have much less money to spend as well because student loan repayments are now back in place. The federal government has said, okay, those of you that have student loans, we've deferred those for the last couple of years during COVID, but guess what? Those are coming back around, so now they're shelling out money for that. And people are just doubling up. They're getting scared as the economy slows. So we've got this massive new supply, decreasing demand. What does that do to rental rates? You guessed it. So before I tell you how you should respond, I want to thank the sponsor for this video. One thing that is a no-brainer for property management companies is to utilize Enterprise Bank and Trust for your bank. Like this is, my friends, like there are very few things in life that I can just say to everybody, no matter where you are, you should be doing this. Well, no matter where you are, if Enterprise Bank and Trust works in your market, and they're in most states, you should use them. They're experts in trust accounting. They're experts in property management. They will make sure your trust account is a true and legal trust account. Stay compliant with your trust accounting. They operate seamlessly with your software. It interacts with that. You get the check scanner in your office. You can do all that stuff. And they pay you an earnings credit, which, by the way, with interest rates creeping up, my friends, suddenly these earning credits, which in the past couple of years were meaningless, are not meaningless anymore. Trust me. Getting an interest rate on your balances as an earnings credit is significant. So reach out to Enterprise Bank and Trust, jump on their website, talk to Allison or one of her team members there, A. DeSaro at Enterprise Bank. Give them a call, jump on their website, tell them Marc sent you, they will set you up. Okay, let me share with you a couple of headlines that we've seen in our market that talk about this, just in the news media. Already facing a glut of office space, Denver may soon find itself with too many apartments. Yeah, that's probably in your market as well. Apartment markets are in the early stages of hyper supply. See, this is just starting. We're going to see massive new supply because building multifamily in many markets takes years and years and years and years. And when all the demand was peaking over the last couple of years, they started the new supply, but it's taken literally years for that new supply to make its way through the filter pipeline. Now it's here. Now we're going to have multi-years of new supply at the same time. So the timing didn't work out well, unfortunately. Hyper supply, not good. I love this one. There will be a knife fight for tenants over the next 24 months. Woo, a knife fight for tenants. You want to get tenants? There's no longer 10 tenants waiting in line to rent your property, my friends. No, you've got to go knife fight for them. You've got to knife fight out the other property management companies to get that quality tenant. It's a pretty sobering thought, isn't it? So what do we do? A couple things that we want to make sure we're doing. I know this is hard to read. Your property's got to be clean and updated. If demand slows down, what do you got to do? Property needs to be cleaned, updated. It has to show well like never before. Your marketing must be effective. You've got to make sure you're getting it out there to everywhere. Your pricing and your incentives must be aggressive. Drop your prices. Offer move-in incentives. Drop your security deposits if necessary. Move-in incentives work. They really, really work. Your application and screening process have to be realistic, and your deposits have to be realistic. When these multifamily properties are offering $99 deposits, you have to compete with that on some level. Number 5, avoid turnover. That is what we're focusing on this next year, avoiding turnover. And then lastly, you've got to inform your owners. If your owners think that your market's just amazing and they expect another double-digit rent increase this year, you need to inform them, which you can do how? Yes, that's right, through the year-end owner letter I talked about on the last video. So we're entering a new market. It's still going to be a great market for us as property managers because we have a lot of new supply, but we've got to make sure we're getting that supply filled and rented, and our owner clients have to be realistic, and you've got to make sure you're educating them on what is necessary to get that done. Hey, if you like this stuff and you want more of this in longer term format, have you listened to our newer podcast, the Property Management Business Podcast? We talk about this stuff, but because it's in podcast form, we have more time to go into detail, and I actually talk slower than I do when I do these silly videos. Otherwise, jump on our website, pmbuild.com. Check out our Visit Grace event. Come out to Denver, visit me in February or other months that we have offered to you to register. 10 p.m.s where we talk about your business for 2 days with my team out there in Denver. My friends, until next time, as always, I wish you success.